Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Bhakti Vaibhav class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshacharine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
Rama, Hare Hare,
Ram Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from Srimad Bhagvatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 30, the activities of Prachetas. And last time we had completed, I think, till verse number 8.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Okay. So the allegorical story of Puranjan is over. Prachin Barhi left the kingdom and took to the renounced order, perfected his life. Then Vidurji, he asked Maitreya, can you please tell what happened to Prachetas? Because you started the story, but you stopped in between. Can you please tell what happened? Now, what did Prachetas do after receiving the mantra from Lord Shiva? So in response to that question, Maitreya Muni started describing what happened further. And we discussed how Prachetas, they entered the water and they were doing tapasya underwater for many, many years. And then ultimately, they, by their devotional service, they achieved the darshan of the Lord. And we saw the beautiful darshan as seen by Prachetas standing on the shoulders of Garuda, blackish complexion, attractive garments. Kaustubha gem was there. He had 8 arms, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, and along with that he had a sword and the trident and a snake also. And when the Lord started speaking, I think we discussed 8 verses. The first verse which the Lord spoke is a very, very powerful verse we discussed last time. The Lord appeared, and the first thing he's speaking is, I am pleased by your cooperation. Varam vrinidvam bhadram vo yuyam me nripanandana sauhardena apratak dharma tushtoham sauridena vaha. Sorry, video was off. Tushtoham sauridena vaha. So I am pleased. So this in this verse, sauharda, this has come twice. Sauhardena apratak dharma, because all of you have cooperated and kept aside your individual natures and tried to serve together. I am very pleased with you. So therefore ask for a benediction. Varam vrinidvam. We'll continue from 9th verse. In the beginning only, now Lord is telling the benediction of what will happen by remembering these prachetas. We'll recite this verse. Yo anusmarati sandhyayam
Swartim Sandhya
Yushman anudinam naraha
Yusman
तथा भूतेषु तस्या भ्रातृष्व आत्मसाम्यम तथा भूतेषु सौहृदम.
Lord continued, those who remember you every evening of every day will become friendly with their brothers and with all other living entities.
ये तु मां रुद्रगीतेन सायं प्रातः समाहिताः स्तुवन्त्यहं कामवरान् दास्ये प्रज्ञां च शोभनाम्.
दास्ये प्रज्ञां च शोभनाम्.
Those who will offer me,
Those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and in the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence.
Okay. Sayam Prata, morning, evening, both. One who worships me by this Rudra Gita. Stuvanti, one who offers these prayers of Rudra Gita. Aham Kamavaran, I will give them benedictions. Dasya Pragyam cha Shobhanam, by which they can fulfill their desire and they'll get good intelligence also. So that is the result of practice of devotional service, as it is already described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada quotes this verse. Tesham satyayuktanam vajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi. So the Lord, he is very, very eager to give benedictions to his devotees. So Chakravarti Thakur says, if I'll give all this to others, how much more I'll give to you? So the Lord is telling is, oh, you have worshipped me, and whoever remembers this, they'll get benefited. So how much I am going to give you? So that is very interesting. So the Lord, he is ready to fulfill the desires, and he says, I'll fulfill their desires and I'll give them intelligence. That is very interesting benediction. Fulfill their desires and good intelligence. So what does it mean? He'll give the devotees the intelligence by which they can ask the right type of desires. And then he'll fulfill those spiritual desires also. Prabhupada writes, one who offers prayers to the Lord to fulfill his different desires must know that the highest perfectional fulfillment of desire is to go back to Godhead. It is indicated that those who remember the activities of Prachetas will be delivered and blessed. What to speak of sons of King Prachina Barhi who are directly connected. Those who remember Prachetas, they will be blessed, they will be delivered. So how much more Prachetas will get? Just like Brahmaji in the 10th canto, as he's offering prayers to Krishna after Brahma Vimohan Leela. One of the prayers, Brahmaji says, Sadvesha divaputana pisakula tvameva deva pita yadhamartha surit priyatma tanaya prana shayaspatrite. You are giving a position, you have given a position of Dhatri, mother, to Putana, who came in the dress of a devotee. Was not a devotee also. Who came in the dress of a devotee, Sadvesh. And you delivered him and you delivered her along with her family. Sakul, Kul ke saath, Bakasur, Agasur, Putana. All family delivered. What is remaining for you to give to Brajvasis? इतना देंगे आप उनको, आपके पास बचा ही क्या? मेरे को ये लग रहा है. That's what Brahmaji is saying. Prabhupada writes, this is the way of parampara system. Very important. If we follow the acharyas, we attain the same benefit as our predecessors. The Prachetas, they got delivered, and one who remembers the Prachetas will also get delivered. That is the power of getting connected to a parampara. If one hears Gita from Krishna directly, Arjun got benefited. And if somebody hears Gita from the devotee of Krishna, he will also be benefited. There is no difference between hearing from Lord and following a devotee of the Lord who has heard from the Lord. So some people say, Are, abhi to Krishna is not speaking, Krishna is not there. How will we get benefited? Get connected to a parampara. There is no difference. Evam parampara praptam. So that is good intelligence Krishna gives. Now, Lord speaks further. He says, because you have obeyed your father, you will be glorified in the world. Yaduyam pituradesham
Tesham
agrahishta mudanvitah
कृष्णमुदान्वितः
atho va ushati kirti
Atova
lokanano bhavishyati.
लोकान्
Because you have the pleasure accepted within your hearts the orders of your father and have executed those orders very faithfully. Your attractive qualities will be celebrated all over the world.
Agrahishta mudanvita. Mudanvita is very important here. With pleasure you have accepted. Otherwise, ठीक है अभी क्या करें अभी बोल रहे हैं तो जाना पड़ेगा. He's happily, they have happily accepted the orders of their father and they've executed it. So therefore they'll be glorified. Some people ask why one is put in miserable condition even though everybody is under the control of the Supreme. Because when we misuse our free will, then we suffer, then we are punished. If one obeys, then one is happy. If one doesn't obey, he is unhappy. So we are the cause. So just like Prachetas, they followed, they'll be glorified. Okay. So that is very important. The Lord is pleased by the sincere submission to the will of superiors. If somebody is submitting to the will of superiors, then the Lord is pleased. If one is thinking, "Nahi, I'll please only Lord," Lord's devotees are difficult. Just like some people, some devotees, I want to serve Guru Maharaj directly, but my immediate authorities, it is so very difficult to please my authorities. But will the authority be pleased? Will the Guru be pleased if the authorities are not pleased? Because Guru has appointed the authorities. So submission, sincere submission, tadviddhi pranipata pariprashna. So the various qualities of a servant is mentioned here. First, acceptance of the instruction. Second, with pleasure. Third, execution. And fourth, with faith. These are the four important qualities of a disciple or a servant. First, accept, with pleasure, execute, with faith. These are the four important qualities mentioned by the Lord. What pleases the Lord? These four qualities. If somebody accepts with pleasure, with faith, and executes it, he'll be glorified. So basically the Lord is saying external action is important, internal consciousness is also important. Externally you execute it, internally you have faith and be happy, and then the Lord will be pleased. Just like now Chandan Yatra is going on. The famous story of Madhavendra Puri. When the Lord came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and he said, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, please go to Malaya and get Chandan for me." So there the word used is Dila Mora Agya Dan. It is a charity given to me. The Lord gave charity of instructions, order. Kaviraj Goswami says in another place that all the devotees of Vrindavan, Teho Ati Kripa Kori Agya Dila More. All these Vaishnavas of Vrindavan, they extremely merciful on me and they gave me instructions. So service is a great favor which is given to us. Payayar Agyadhan Prajera Vaishnavagan Bandhotara Mukhya Haridas Chaitanya Vilasa Sindhu Kallo Lera Eka Bindu Tara Kana Kahe Krishnadas Paya yara agya dhan. Kaviraj Goswami says this is the treasure of instructions. So that's how the Lord is pleased with them. Okay. Bhavita Vishruta Putro Anavama Brahmano Gunai Yaetam Atma Viryena Trilokim Puraishyati. Translation.
You will have nice son who will be in no way inferior to Lord Brahma. Consequently, he will be very famous all over the universe, and the sons and the grandsons generated by him will fill the three world.
So now Lord is telling you'll have a son and he'll be like Brahma. He'll be very, very powerful. He'll be famous. Prabhupada writes. Prachetas, as it will explain in the next verse, Prachetas will marry the daughter of Kandu Rishi. It is suggested that the son's name will be Vishruta. Vishruta, Bhavita, Vishruta Putra. Vishruta means very famous son. And he will glorify both his father and mother because of good character. Chanakya said, if there is a good tree within the garden or forest, its flowers will fill the forest with their fragrance. A good son makes the whole family famous. Chanakya Pandit quotes this very, very wonderful verse. If one family, one son is famous, if one son is having good qualities, the entire dynasty is glorified. Just like Prabhupada writes about Krishna. When Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty, entire Yadu dynasty is glorified. As it is described. It comes in, I think, 10th canto. Aho valam shagyatalam, aho valam shagyatamam yadokulam, aho valam punyatamam madhovanam, yadesha pumsa rishabhasriyapati, swajanmana chankramana chanchati. This Yadukul is glorified. Aho alam shlagyatamam. Shlagya means it is worshipable. Aho alam shlagyatamam yadukulam. Yadukul is glorified. Aho alam punyatamam madhuvanam. Madhuvan is glorified. Vrindavan is glorified. Why? Ye yad esha pumsa rishabha shriyapati. Here, the Shriyapati, Krishna, he has walked. He has taken birth in Yadu dynasty and he has walked in Vrindavan. Tva janmana chankramena chanchati. Vrindavanam sakhi bhuvo vitanoti kirtim yada devaki sutapadambujalabda lakshmihi govinda venu manumatta mayura nityam prekshadrisan vavaratanya samasta sattvam. Vrindavan has increased the glory of Mother Earth because Krishna has walked there. So he's saying, the Lord is saying, your son will glorify you. He'll be famous all over the universe. Now, the Lord is telling what will happen to this son. Who will be your son? Kando Pramalochya. Kando Pramalochaya Labdha Kanya Kamalalochana Tam Chapi Vidham Jagrihu Bhuruha Nripanandana. Translation.
O son of King Prachinaparshad, the heavenly society girl named Locha kept the lotus-eyed daughter of Kandu in the care of the forest trees. Then she went back to the heavenly planet. This daughter was born by the coupling of the Apsara named Locha with the sage Kandu.
So Prabhupada in the purport, he describes the story of this Pramalocha and Kandu. So the Prachetas, they may question, are you are giving a son, but who will be the wife? आप तो पहले आगे का बता रहे हैं, पहले पत्नी कौन होगी वो तो बताइए. So the Lord is explaining who will be the wife. She will be Pramalocha, the lotus-eyed daughter of Kandu. So one time there was this great sage Kandu Muni. doing tapasya. And as usual, whenever some sage does tapasya, who gets disturbed? That is Indra. So Indra sends another Apsara, Pramalocha, and she is successful in breaking the vow and austerities of Kandu. She begets a child, and then she leaves the child. And the sage is wondering what to do with the child. So what the sage did, he handed over, uh, okay, being the successful in her mission, Pramalocha returned to heavenly planets, leaving the unborn child to the care of the trees. So the Kandu Rishi, he was not able to raise. So Pramalocha, she gave the child to the trees. And the Devta of the trees took care of this Pramalocha. So as this small child was born, she was crying, she was hungry, what to do? Who is the Devata of trees? Who is the Devata of all the vegetation?
Moon.
Yeah, that
Indradev.
is Naina Indradev, moon. Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha.
Chandradeva. Yes.
So moon, he took compassion. That is described in the next verse. Shutsamaya Mukhe Raja Soma Piyusha Varshinim Deshinim Rodamanaya Nidadhe Sadayanvitaha.
Thereafter,
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Thereafter, the child who was left to the care of the trees began to cry in hunger. At that time, the king of the forest, namely the king of the moon planet, yes, out of compassion, placed his fingers, which, which poured forth nectar within the child's mouth. Thus, the child was raised by the mercy of the king of the moon. Hare Krishna. Correct.
Moon
उत्तर दिया
god took
हुआ है.
care of this small child. Praja Visarga Adishta Pitra Mam Anuvartata Tatra Kanyam Vararoham Tam Udvahata Mam Chiram Machiram.
Since all of you are very much obedient to my orders, I ask you to immediately marry that girl who is so well qualified with beauty and good qualities. According to the order of your father, create progeny through her.
Prabhupada writes, Prachetas were not only great devotees of the Lord, but were very obedient to the orders of their father. So therefore, the Lord said, okay, please marry this beautiful lady Pramalocha. How can all 9 of us marry one daughter, one girl? So the Lord is clarifying, don't worry, it is not against dharma. Apritak dharma shilanam sarvesham va sumadhyama apritak dharma shileyam bhuya patnya arpitashaya.
You brothers are all of the same nature, being devotees and obedient sons of your father. Similarly, that girl is also of the same type and is dedicated to all of you. Thus, both the girl and you, the sons of Prachina Parishad, are on the same platform, being united on a common principle.
None of them are complaining, at least सबको एक एक तो दो भाई आप ऐसा कैसा कर रहे हो? You are giving one girl for 9 of us. This is unfair. So Krishna is highly unpredictable sometimes. Now, what he will give to his devotees is inconceivable. Because we may have different understanding of what is mercy. At least भगवान को इतना करना चाहिए ना मेरे लिए तो. Yeah, this is my plan, and I think Lord should fulfill this desire of mine. But Lord has a different plan. So what a devotee can do, only option is put faith, because sometimes things are inconceivable. So we should not have a stereotyped understanding. ये ऐसा करेंगे, ऐसा होगा, and ऐसा होगा, फिर भगवान की कृपा होगी, and we'll go back to God at a bowl. Lord may have different plan for us. Lord may make us take birth many more times. Or Lord may take us back in this life only. Only Lord knows. why he is doing what he is doing. So what we should do is just be attached to seva and not to a particular type of seva also. Lord may give us different seva. So, of course, in our Krishna consciousness, we should also do what we like to do, but sometimes we'll be given service which we don't like or which we are not even good at. So try to do it as per our capacity. And if really things are going really difficult, then we should tell. Otherwise, Sevaya nahi, how can I do this seva? I am not even ready to do this seva. I don't want to do this. I don't like. I have no capacity, no competency. Still, you have to do it. Sometimes such things come. So Lord has a different plan. Prabhupada writes in the purport. According to Vedic principles, a woman cannot have many husbands. Husband can have many wives. But in special instances, it is found that a woman has more than one husband. For example, Draupadi. In the previous times, it was so Prabhupada writes about this Kalau Pancha Vivarjayet. What are the 5 things which are prohibited in Kali Yuga? How does it start? One is begetting child from the husband's brother. Sannyasam. Haji, how does it start, Puji? I don't remember in the beginning.
Ashwamedham Gavalambam.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Ashwamedham Gavalambam Sannyasam Palapaitrikam Devarena Stotpattim Kalau Pancha Vivarjay. Yes, thank you. So these 5 things are prohibited. And cow sacrifice, horse sacrifice, sannyas, that is Mayavadi sannyas. Palapaitrikam, offering meat to ancestors, and Devarena Stotpattim. So some things are prohibited in Kali Yuga. Prabhupada writes. This system is still practiced in some of the hilly tracts of India, where women is forbidden to marry husband's brother. Sometimes, somewhere, abhi bhi hota hoga. Prabhupada must have heard some things. Sometimes Prabhupada quotes some things in the purports which he has seen or heard. Prabhupada writes, Lord says, Apritak dharma shileyam bhuyat patni arpitashaya. With the blessings of the Lord, all things are possible. The Lord specially blessed the girl to surrender equally to all brothers. Apritak dharma means occupational duty without difference of purpose. So the Lord specially is empowering this girl to be equal to all these 9 brothers. Otherwise, it is so very difficult. In fact, although Draupadi was married to 5 brothers, but still she had little more inclination towards Arjun. So this is the Lord's plan, where the Lord is empowering and showing some special mercy to all these prachetas and this lady so that she can be equal to all these 9 brothers. Prabhupada writes, one may act according to his own occupational duty just to satisfy Yajna Purusha. That is called as Aprithag Dharma. Aprithag Dharma means uniting on higher principle of serving Krishna, where there is so much disunity in this world, so much quarrel over small things. The Lord is telling that you unite on a higher principle and all of you marry this one person, one girl. So together, work together. So that is very, very difficult unless one is united on higher purpose. That all of us, although we have different natures, but still will work. Here, prachetas, they have same nature. So therefore, they are given this one girl. But sometimes we have our different natures and still we have to serve together. So that's how it is. Because when we come together, we start working together. We have different natures. In the beginning, there is lots of friction. And then in due course of time, if there is some mature superior who guides, then these subordinates in the beginning, although they have friction, then slowly they start understanding each other's nature and they start working according to the natures. And then the friction reduces. The natures may not change, but we start understanding each other's nature and we work accordingly. Just like if there are different size stones put in a jar and the jar is moving, you're shaking the jar. After a long period of time, the sharp edges of the stones, they are rubbing against each other and they get rounded. That is what happens. Slowly, if we have a good authority, good superior, then we may have difference of understanding, difference of opinions, but still we will understand each other's nature and focus on seva and focus on sadhana. In due course of time, what will happen? Our understanding of natures will increase and we will also be purified of our lower natures. So that is what is important. Apritak dharma, keeping the fundamental focus on the purpose, satisfy the Supreme Lord. Apritak dharma. Prabhupada writes. Different limbs of the body may act in different ways, but the ultimate objective is to maintain the entire body. Similarly, if we work for the satisfaction of the Lord, we will satisfy everything. Okay. Lord continued. Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Ahataujasaha Bhauman Bhokshata Bhogan Vai Divyam Shanugrahan Mama.
The Lord then blessed all the prachetas, saying,
I think your voice is not there. There's some
all
network issue.
of them without hindrance and with full strength. For 1,000,000 celestial.
Okay, so now the Lord has blessed them. So a lot of you enjoy for 1,000,000 celestial years. So that is not an ordinary thing. 1,000,000 celestial years. Divya Varsha Sahasranam. Divya Varsha Sahasra. That means, Prabhupada writes 1,000,000. So what is Divya? 1,000 of divine years means 3,000. That means many, many years. Prabhupada writes, the duration of the life described for the prachetas is calculated by time measurements of higher planets. Our 6 months is 12 hours. 30 days, our 30 days equal 1 month, 12 months equal 1 year. In this way, 1,000,000 years. That means 6 months is 12 hours. And in this way, 1,000,000 years. So prachetas were given really a long, long duration of enjoyment. At the same time, they were given full bodily strength to enjoy. Then, next is a very important benediction. Because 17th verse looks a very material benediction. What about devotion to you, my Lord? Because so much enjoyment may distract us. He says, no, 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 you will not be distracted. We'll recite this. Atha mayyana painya
Atamayana payena
bhaktya pakva gunashayah
bhaktya pakva
Tapasya
gunashya
gunashaya
upasyasyatha madhama
upayasya
nirvidya nirayad ataha.
Nirvidya Nirayagam.
Hare Krishna. Thereafter, you will develop unadulterated devotional service unto me and be freed from all material contamination. At that time, being completely unattached to material enjoyment in the so called heavenly planets as well as in hellish planets, you will return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
So interestingly, the Lord is giving, he gives such benedictions to all his devotees. You will enjoy, you will not be affected by the enjoyment. He gave this benediction to Dhruva, Prahlad, and here he is giving to Prachetas also. You will enjoy Bhaktya Pakva Gunashayah. Pakva Gunashaya means one who develops unadulterated devotional service. He becomes free from the modes. So that is the way the Lord works. If the Lord sees that my devotee will not be distracted by sense gratification, he gives all sense gratification to his devotee. Otherwise, the Lord doesn't give. Adhanoyam dhanam prapya madhyan nuchairna mam smaret iti karuniko nunam dhanam me bhurina dadat. Sudama is telling, you know why the Lord didn't give me any opulence? The Lord thought, adhanoyam dhani, adhana, dhani, nahi hai, garib aadmi. Dhanam prapya, if I'll give him wealth, madhyan, he'll be proud. Natu mam smaret, and he'll not remember me. Therefore, merciful Lord, karuniko nunam dhanam me na dadat. Nahi diye mere ko. So that's how the Lord works. If the Lord feels, and if Lord knows that ye devotee ko dunga to ye bhul jayega, he will not give. Because the wealth of this world brings pride. The Lord took away all the wealth of Bali Maharaj, and then he gave Bali Maharaj position of Sutala Loka, which is much higher than the heavenly planets also. In that section, two beautiful words describes, the Lord says there are 8 reasons to be proud. Shriya vibhutya abhijanena vidyaya tyagena rupena balena karmana jatsmaenandadhiya gatas saheshwaran sato avamanyanti hari priyan khalah. Shriya, vibhutya, the wealth, the power, abhijana, good birth, vidyaya, education, tyaga, renunciation, rupa, beauty, bala, strength, karmana, all the rituals, performance of rituals. If somebody has all this, there are chances that svaena andha, he'll be proud, he'll be blinded by pride. And such people, they disrespect the devotees. This is actually, this verse comes in the 11th canto. So Bali Maharaj, he had everything, and the Lord took away everything. But Bali Maharaj was not proud when he had everything, and he was not disgusted and devastated when everything was taken away from him. He had everything. He had Shriya, Vibhuti, Abhijan, Vidya, Tyag, Rupa, Bal, Karma. He had everything. Still, he was not proud. And the Lord tells in that section of Bali Maharaj, he says, Janma, Karma, Vayo, Rupa, Vidya, Aishwarya, Dhan, Adibhi, Yadi Yasya Na Bhavet Stamba Yatrayam Madanugrahat. If somebody is not proud, even after having all these things, please understand that he has received my mercy. Without mercy of the Lord, it is impossible to be humble. If somebody has all these qualities, Janma, Karma, Vaya, high birth, good activities, youthful body, beautiful body, education, wealth, Aishwarya, Vidya, Aishwarya, Dhan, Adi bhi. Very difficult to be humble. Only if somebody receives the mercy of the Lord, then he can be protected.
So this slok is from which canto?
The second one is from the 8th canto, and the first one which I spoke, the 8 causes to be proud, that is from 11th canto, 11.5.29.
11.5.29.
11.5.9 actually.
11.5.9. And the other one is from 8th canto, which chapter?
Number nahi malum. Number, I'll just tell you. Janma, karma, vayo, rupa. That is 8.22.26. Chakravarti Thakur writes, O men, in whose hearts the material gunas have been burned up by bhakti, after enjoying on earth, you will come to my abode. Since they could not see the Lord if they had still material gunas, the sentence does not mean after having burned up, you will come to me. That means they have already destroyed their guna. That's why they are seeing the Lord. It is not that abhi to guno mein hai, baad mein shuddh ho jaoge, then you will come. No, no, no. They are already purified souls. Because this is a very beautiful verse from the first canto about the small boy Narada. When when this small boy, he did tapasya, he could see the Lord in his heart, and the Lord disappeared. And then he heard a voice, Hantasmin Janmani Bhavan, Mamam Drashtumiharhati. Oh my child, in this life you'll not be able to see me again because Avipakwa Kashayanam Durdarshoham Puyoginam. Because the lax practitioners with contamination cannot see me at all. But that does not mean the Lord is telling you are contaminated, because Narad Muni could see the Lord. Then why Lord is saying, I want to increase your desire. You are already purified soul, but still I want to increase your desire. So these prachetas, they are already purified souls. It is not that after this enjoyment, they'll be free from the modes by the practice of bhakti, then they'll achieve the Lord. No, they are already free. So by the practice of bhakti, one can be very easily freed from the contamination of the modes, even while staying in the family life. It is described about Priyavrat, the same thing. Priyavrat Maharaj, he was a brahmachari, and later he had to marry because there was nobody to rule. Daksha had gone for, after this, it will happen after this only. Daksha, he'll take birth and he'll go for tapasya. 5 manvantar tapasya. Nobody is there to rule. So then Priyavrat was called. He was made the king. He ruled. He married. He had many children. And then Shukdev Goswami says in the 5th canto, still he was not affected by it. Parikshit was confused, surprised. How is it? पहले तो आप बोल रहे हैं he was brahmachari, then he got married, चलो ठीक है शादी हुआ. Even after getting married, how is it that he is not attached? He is still, how could he remain aloof? So Dev Goswami says, what is the difficulty? He says, Bhayam pramattasya vaneshwapi syad yatasya aste sa shat sapatnaha jitendriyasyatmarati buddhasya grihashramam kimnu karoti avadya. He says, even if somebody leaves home, goes to the forest, he doesn't go alone. He goes with 6 wives. Who are the 6 wives? Anyone knows who are the 6 wives?
Mind and 5 senses.
Yes. Akele nahi jate, he goes with 6 senses. Shat sapatna. But a person who is Jitendriya, Atmarati and Buddha, who is sense-controlled, self-satisfied, and intelligent. What harm Grihastha life will do to that person? Because the person who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he will surely cross this ocean of material existence. Because what is this material existence? It is insignificant. A person who is connected to the devotee gets liberated. What to speak of if somebody is directly connected to the Lord? That's the power of devotional service. So these prachetas, they're already liberated souls. Prabhupada writes, by the grace of the Lord, the prachetas will be given special facilities. They could live millions of years to enjoy, and still they'll not be deviated. Being thus fully engaged, prachetas would be free from material attachment. The devotee may be in any situation, because the word you used here is the Lord, the devotee is unattached, whether he stays in heaven or hell. Lord Shiva tells this about Chitraketu Maharaj. After he was cursed by Parvati, and Chitraketu is very, very grateful. Guna pravahaye tasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narakah kova kim sukham dukkham evava. What is hell? What is heaven? What is happiness? What is distress? It is all modes working. I accept your curse, O mother. I didn't mean it, but I'll accept it. He leaves. And then Lord Shiva tells Parvati, just see the glories of devotees of Lord Narayan. Narayan para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyarth darshina. For a devotee, swarga, apavarga, and narak, they are all same. Because a devotee is not disturbed by externals. He is seeing Krishna everywhere. So externals, they don't matter for a pure devotee of the Lord. He is Brahma Bhuyaya Sagunana Samatityetan. He has nothing to do with the material attachment, material distress. So these are the highest of the examples given in scriptures. Prabhupada writes, Paktva Gunashaya is significant because it means that by devotional service, one is able to give up the influence of the three modes. Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunana Samatityeta. And one who takes shelter of the Lord, he can easily cross over all the dangers of material world, which is danger at every step. Padam padam yat vipadam. The Lord continues. The prachetas may say, "Oh Lord, you have told us to enjoy this earthly pleasure. Since this pleasure is equivalent to hell and unfavorable for bhakti to you, why do you force it on us? Why do you want us to enjoy? We don't want to enjoy in this material world." So the Lord speaks the next verse. We'll recite this. Another very interesting verse. Very beautiful verse. Griheshu vishatam chapi
गृहेषु विशतां चापि
pumsam kushala karmanam
पुंसां कुशलकर्मणां
madvartayat yamanam
Madhvartaya
na
यामानां
bandhaya grihamata.
न
na
बन्धाय
bandhaya
गृहामतः.
Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions.
It's the same thing like Prevrat Maharaj, Bhayam Pramattasya. If somebody leaves family, he still is affected, but somebody's realized soul, he'll not be affected. Griheshu avishatam cha api. Even if somebody is in the family life, participating in the family life, griheshu cha avishatam, he has entered the family life. Pumsam kushal karmana. Kushal karma means the auspicious activities of devotional service. One who is engaged in devotional service. That is kushal karma. He is engaging in madvarta yatayamanam. If some devotee is engaging in my discussions, na bandhaya griha. Na bandhaya griha mata. He will not be affected by household life. That is the power of devotional service. So these devotees, prachetas, they are saying, please, my Lord, don't bind us in this material existence by giving us this benediction of enjoyment. The Lord says, don't worry, you will not be affected. Because a devotee who is engaged in my pastimes, discussing my pastimes, they remain aloof. So the Lord is saying, actually, real benediction is not material benediction, but devotional service. Yatayama, Madhvarta Yatayamanam. We have heard in the third canto about Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu was such a great soul. He is actually expansion, Shaktavesh avatar of the Lord. And after Devahuti was married to Kardam Muni, he comes back and we heard how Swayambhuva Manu would spend his life. Hearing, reading, and writing. So he was completely detached. Chakravarti Thakur writes, what is Kushal Karmana? Kushal Karmana means those who serve me. They pass their hours talking about me as a necessity of life. That enjoyment which produces karma is a cause of bondage and is equivalent to hell. It is unfavorable for bhakti. It does not arise from my mercy. Now it is very important, very interesting. The devotees enjoy. The non-devotees enjoy. But there is a difference in the enjoyment of the devotees and non-devotees. The enjoyment of non-devotees bind them to the cycle of birth and death. But because the devotees, they don't desire enjoyment, still they are put in the situations where they get enjoyment. That means that enjoyment is given by the Lord. And that enjoyment does not restrict their bhakti. That enjoyment, Prabhupada writes, it should be understood, Chakravarti Thakur writes, it should be understood that this is enjoyment arising from my mercy. And it will not cause bondage. That's the case of Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva, Manu. That is the interesting thing. The devotees, they enjoy and don't get bound. Otherwise, sometimes Krishna takes away everything. Yasyam anugrihnami harishyetad dhanam shanai. Okay. That's how it is. Prabhupada writes, generally, a person living in the family becomes overly attached to fruitive activity. In other words, he tries to enjoy the result of his activities. But a devotee knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. He doesn't enjoy himself. Devotee wants to give enjoyment to Krishna, and therefore he is not bound. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra. If somebody is offering all the results, all the activities for the pleasure of the Lord, they don't get bound by the results. That's how a devotee should work. With his mind, body, and actions and words, he is only pleasing the Lord. And in that state, he is a liberated soul. Jivan mukta sauchyate. It is not that one will be liberated only after dying. No one can be liberated even while living in this body. If one is engaging his karmana manasa gira, his actions, his mind, his words in serving the Lord, jivan mukta sauchyate. Prabhupada quotes another thing. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami would quote, Krishna bhajan yaha hoy anukul, vishaya boliya tage taha hai bhool. If somebody is so expert that he can engage everything in service of the Lord, why he'll give up everything, anything? If somebody thinks, oh no, I'll give up this world, is a blunder. He is doing a blunder. That is Falgu Vairagya, not actual Vairagya. Because the real purpose is to engage everything in service of the Lord. That is Yukta Vairagya. And Prabhupada writes, he quotes this third chapter. Third chapter of Gita specifically considers material activities for the purpose of sense gratification and material activities for purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. The conclusion is that they are not same. So if somebody is working for his own pleasure, and if somebody is working for the pleasure of the Lord, they are not same. If somebody is working for the Lord, the enjoyment will not bind that person. That attachment to the devotees will not bind the person. But if one is attached to the things of the world, the relatives, he'll be bound. Prasangam ajaram pasham atmanam kavayo vidu saeva sadhu shukrito mokshadwaram apavritam. If somebody is attached to family, gates to hell. If same attachment is applied to devotees, the gates to liberation. Prabhupada gives the example of milk and curd. Yes, Prabhu, you had a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is one shloka, but there are some different opinions on that particular aspect about everything can be dotel. This Yukta Vairagya principle na, is for the sadhaka, whether they will perfectly dotel everything. Like there is one shloka na, Kama Krishnarpane, Lova Bhakti Jane. So everything can be total at every stage of sadhana life. Basically, those who are sadhakas, are qualified to do Yukta Vairagya principle? And because there is a difference of opinion when I asked to Malram Shakti Prabhu, he said, no, Prabhuji, everything cannot be total. And here when I see Srila Prabhupada's purport and some of the senior devotees, when I asked, there are some different opinions. So the dotaling propensity that everything can be used in Krishna's service, at what stage of devotional life? Like we are in another Nivritti stage. So are we qualified to dotel everything in Krishna's service?
I'll give you a simple example. If a person is playing a kabaddi और वो बोलेगा मैं ना सबको लेके आता हूँ इधर, एंड ये एक पतला दुबला एकदम काड़ी पहलवान, if he goes on the other side thinking सबको लेके आता हूँ मैं, I will dovetail all my propensities, what will happen? He'll end up in disaster. So it depends on our realization, our understanding, our maturity. Otherwise, Yukta will go, Vairagya will go and Yukta will remain. So it depends on how mature we are. To that extent, we can utilize everything. In fact, in Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada writes in one purport, I think अत्याहार के इसमें आता है, शायद किसी में तो आता है अत्याहार प्रयास में, one should not take donations from Mayavadis. उसमें आता है ना, कहीं तो आता है, and कर्मीज. अभी किससे लेंगे फिर डोनेशन? चलो कर्मीज नहीं लिखे, नहीं मायावादीज लिखे हैं. So we should understand what is our level of realization. अभी we can't tell anybody आपका philosophy क्या है पहले बताओ उसके बाद donation लेंगे हम. आप मायावादी तो नहीं है, मायावादी नहीं है ना, हाँ ठीक, फिर हम लोग लेते हैं donation. You know, so basically the mood we should understand. Are we capable of, accepting and managing the influence and the power, not power, influence and the effect which will come when we take some things, thinking that I'll use it in Krishna service. Because the worldly glamour is so much, and if our mind is not controlled, the mind will say, यार थोड़ा अपने लिए रख लेना, क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला. So it depends only if we have doubt, ask some of the superiors. इतना डोनेशन लूं क्या मैं प्रभु जी, और ये मुझे इतना दे रहे हैं तो what should I do? And if the seniors say, okay, ठीक है, you can take it and you do this with this money and all. So then you are protected. We are protected. Otherwise, as a principle, it is a very risky thing. This Yukta Vairagya principle, if it is a risky thing, if it is not practiced properly. Otherwise, Yukta ही रह जाएगा, Vairagya चला जाएगा. A famous example, Prabhupada was asked by some devotees, Prabhupada, we are going to do book distribution in nightclub. Please give your blessings. Because that's where people are at night. So Prabhupada said, okay, I give you my blessings, but make sure you come back also. So that is very important. How much we can tolerate, because Maya is very strong. Dealing with you, engaging things in Krishna service means dealing with Maya. It is depending on every devotee's capacity. How much I can handle Maya. If some devotees have tough time just looking at, some Mataji, and उसको बोलेंगे आपको ना अभी congregation preaching करना है, बोले मेरा तो already मैं I get disturbed, so I have to talk to Mataji. अरे नहीं bro, जी नहीं होगा. Some people they can handle, they can talk, and they know how to stay protected. So it depends on our realization and our maturity of Krishna consciousness. उतना घुसो, नहीं तो फिर हरि बोल, प्रभु जी कहाँ गए, प्रभु जी गए तो प्रचार करने, वापस नहीं आए. तो so that's how I can understand this.
Thank you.
Prabhupada writes, he gives the example of milk and curd. The same principle of attachment, if it is applied for devotees, liberation. Things of this world, bondage. He gives the example of milk and curd. Milk causes indigestion. Curd cures that indigestion or diarrhea. So that is how we have to use these material attachments. Propensity of material attachment. Okay, attach yourself. I want to get attached to something. I have a propensity to attach myself to something. Okay, get attached to devotees, get attached to Krishna. If one is placed in material opulence due to special mercy of the Lord, you should not consider that opulence is a cause of bondage. I didn't want it, it has come, I'll use it in Krishna's service. If some wealth is coming and you are thinking, no, I can't use this because it is Maya. That means we are not understanding the principle. If you are capable and still you are thinking it is Maya, I'll not use it, then it is Falgu Vairagya. Okay. Lord continues. He describes the next verse. Where is the suffering of bondage for these devotees? Navyavadridaye yajyo brahmaitad brahmavadivi nah muhyanti na shochanti na rishyante yatogataha.
Always engaging in the activities of devotional service, devotees feel ever increasingly fresh and new in all their activities. The all-knower, the super soul, within the heart of the devotee makes everything increasingly fresh. This is known as the Brahman position by the advocates of the absolute truth. In such a liberated stage, Brahma Bhuta, one is never bewildered, nor does one lament or become unnecessarily jubilant. This is due to the Brahma Bhuta situation.
Okay. So for a devotee who is at the level of Brahma Bhuta, that means he has realized Brahman, there is no attachment for this devotee. He is never bewildered. Prabhupada writes, a devotee is inspired by the Supreme Lord from within. Prabhupada is emphasizing on this. Devotees feel ever increasingly fresh and new in all their activities. Navyavad. The process of bhakti is always fresh. Bhakti never becomes stale, never becomes hackneyed, stereotype. Prabhupada writes, hackneyed and stereotyped. Oh, devotee never feels like this. वही कितना बार सुनने का भाई, सेम स्टोरी आप लोग हर बार वही बोलते हैं. अभी नरसिंह चतुर्दशी आएगी, आप वही स्टोरी सुनाएंगे. फिर कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी आएगी, फिर वही स्टोरी सुनाएंगे आप. सेम सेम स्टोरी, कुछ नया स्टोरी सुनाइए ना प्रभु जी. अभी नरसिंह देव और कहीं से प्रकट होने चाहिए, हर बार पिलर से ही आते हैं. नया नया स्टोरी कुछ बताना है. नो, pastimes are always fresh. तदेव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवं तदेव सश्वन् मनसो महोत्सवम् तदेव शोकार्णवशोषणं नृणां यदुत्तमश्लोकयशोऽनुगीयते. Ramyam, the qualities, the name, the pastimes of the Lord, always attractive. Ruchira, they're pleasing. Navam Navam, they're always new. Manaso Mahotsavam, they are pleasure for the mind. When Krishna returned from Hastinapur, although all the residents of Dwarka, they would see Krishna practically every day. But when they heard Krishna has come back, they ran to see Krishna. Nityam nirikshamananam yadapi dvarakaukasam na vitrapyanti hidrisham shriyo dhamangamachutam. Nitya nirikshamananam, every day they would see Krishna, but still it is new for them. For a devotee, everything is new. Related to Krishna, whatever you say, it is new only. A devotee never feels same old stories. We can't keep reading the same newspaper. Even a day, 1 day old newspaper, आज का नहीं आया, कल का पढ़ ले क्या? Nobody will think like this. 1 day old newspaper, nobody even looks at it. The same pastimes of the Lord. Millions of times the devotee may hear, still not satisfied. Rupa Goswami says, I want millions of tongues to chant, millions of ears to hear. Tunde Tandavini Ratim Vitanute Tundavali Labdhaye. Prithu Maharaj says, I want millions of ears to hear all Krishna Katha happening in all the universes. Nakamaye nath tadapyaham kvachennayatra yushmat charanambujashavaha. Nakamaya, I don't want liberation. Liberation, mukti mein kaam, Krishna Katha is not there. Vidhatsva karnayuta veshame. I want ayuta karna. Ayuta means millions of years. So Prabhupada writes, very interesting. He says, as stated, Kushal Karmanam, those engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service are guided by the Lord, who knows everything. And the Lord gives instruction to the sincere devotees how to progress more and more. For materialists, They get bored by the same thing, same movies, same songs, same places. So materialists, they want to experience the same old things in new ways because the old things are boring. The same things, the plot may be the same, the content is same, violence and romance, but presented in different ways because it gets boring after some time. But when the pastimes of the Lord are presented, they are always fresh. No change needed. That is how it is. And the more one progresses, the more one experiences the newness of bhakti. He experiences newer and newer rasa in bhakti. Rasa is unlimited. It is bhakti rasa amrit sindhu. Only thing which is lacking is we are not diving in it. So the more we dive in, the more we'll experience such a huge nectar is there. Nobody can be satisfied hearing about Krishna, and devotee is satisfied only about hearing Krishna, only by hearing Krishna. Okay. Jiva Goswami in this connection says that the super soul exists in everyone's heart, but in the heart of a devotee, he reveals himself as ever increasingly new. Being inspired by him, the devotee experiences increased transcendental bliss in execution of service. So for other people, Paramatma, Krishna is there as Paramatma, Upadrashta, Anumanta. For a devotee, Krishna is an active guide. He is actively revealing himself. He's not just sitting there observing, he's revealing. So that's how Lord gave so many wonderful benedictions. Maitreya Uvacha. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, with now, for example, the group of devotees who are attending the class, and many devotees, we see people are enthusiastic and happy about coming to the temple, happy about attending the class, happy about the chanting. Although, yes, there is definitely some taste. The devotional service being performed happily. But sometimes because of the time and various other activities, yes, it could be little mechanical, but very sincere. And there is definitely some rasa, nobody leaves it. Here, the state what is being mentioned as Brahma Bhuta, it appears to be the highest. And what about the devotees, sadhakas, who are definitely experiencing, continuing to the process of devotional service and experiencing joy?
It depends on our level of realizations. To that extent, we'll experience the joy of Krishna consciousness. For a sadhakas, our experience of joy may be for some few minutes or some days. But the more we are connected to the Lord, the pure devotee is always in connection with the Lord. They're always blissful. For them, they're not seeing the world, they are seeing Krishna everywhere. स्थावर जंगम देखी ना देखी तारा मूर्ति सर्वत्र है निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. So they are always blissful. For sadhakas, we have to be convinced first. Intellectual conviction is very important. Because the stage of anartha nivritti, it may be the longest stage. After this longest stage comes nishtha. Even at the stage of nishtha, ruchi is not there so much. Little taste, but actual ruchi means actual attraction. वो अभी भी नहीं. निष्ठा में भी नहीं है. Nishtita bhajan and anishtita bhajan, we have heard about this. At the stage of nishtha, although the devotee is not experiencing the rasa of chanting, but his intellectual and devotional convictions are so strong that he doesn't care about whether he is experiencing rasa or not, he will render service. So, patience is a very important quality of a devotee. Nishtha stage also, rasa is not there so much. We are seeing the glimpses of bliss, as you are saying. Sometimes we experience that joy, experience that taste, kabhi kabhi, or sometimes many times we may experience, but that is very flickering. We are not always ecstatic. Pure devotees, anything they see, they get ecstatic. Peacock feather dekha, ecstatic. Clouds, oh, Madhavendra Puri is seeing the clouds and he's remembering Krishna. So it depends on our realization. We should not be so much concerned about ecstatic symptoms or the joys. Joys will be experienced by sadhaka, but that joy should not be our driving force to serve. Definitely, a devotee feels happy, devotee feels joyful. But if that joy and happy feeling is our basis of service, then there is some problem. Will not be able to continue in the long run as a sadhaka, because sadhaka means taste nahi. Sadhaka means the natural taste is not there. So that's how intellectual and philosophical conviction is very important for a sadhaka. Just by feelings, we cannot go just by feelings. आज अच्छा लग रहा है, कल प्रॉब्लम होगा, अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, still will continue because philosophically we are convinced. So that is what I can think of as a sadhaka, what we should be.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so now Maitreya Muni continues. So after the Supreme Lord spoke, Prachetas, they start offering prayers to the Lord, and Maitreya Muni speaks this beautiful verse. We'll recite this. Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Uvacha
Evam Brahmanam Purushartha Bhajanam
एवं ब्रुवाणं पुरुषार्थभाजनं
Janardanam Pranjalaya Prachetasah
Janam
जनार्दनं
Pranjalaya
प्राञ्ज्वलया प्रचेतसः
Taddarshana Tamo Rajomala
Daddarshanam
दर्शनत्वस्तमो रजोमला
Gira Grinan Gadgadaya Surittamam.
गिरा गृणन् गद्गदया सुरतमम्.
The great sage Maitreya said, after the personality of Godhead spoke thus, the Pachetas began to offer him prayers. Lord is the bestower of all successes life and is the supreme benefactor. He is also the supreme friend who takes away all miserable conditions experienced by a devotee. In a faltering voice, due to ecstasy, the Pachetas begin to offer prayers. They were purified by the presence of the Lord who was there before them face to face.
So three qualities of the Lord are described in this verse. First is Purushartha Bhajanam. Prabhupada focuses on that. He is the bestower of the ultimate goal of life. The Lord is Purushartha Bhajanam. Second, he is Janardana. He is the maintainer of all the devotees. And third is Taddarshana Dhvasta Raja Tamo Rajo Amala. Mala. By his darshan, one is purified of all the Rajogun and Tamogun. These are the three qualities of the Lord expressed by Maitreya Muni here. Prabhupada writes how when one chants, one becomes free from the lower modes and attains perfection, gets purified. So Prachetas, they became completely purified by seeing the Lord, and then they start offering beautiful prayers. We'll recite this prayer. Prachetasa uchuhu
Prachetasa uchuhu
namo namah klesha vinashanaya
Namo
Namo
Namah
Namo
Klesha
Namah
Namah
Vinashanaya
Vinashaya
niropidodara gunahravaya
Niruddhodara
Niruddhodara
Gunagrahaya
manovacho vegapurojamaya
Manovacho
Vega
Vega
Purojavaya
Purojavaya
सर्वाक्षमार्गैर् अगताध्वने नमः
Sarvakshamargayiragatatmane Namaha.
The Prachetas
The
spoke as follows. Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous transcendental qualities and holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. We therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again.
So from 22nd to 32, Prachetas, they are offering obeisances to the Lord. Namo Namaha, we offer obeisances to you again and again. Who is Klesha Vinashanaya, who destroys all kinds of material distress. One of the qualities of devotional service mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Klesh Agni. Klesh Agni means the process of devotional service destroys all the sins. Niropito udara gunaha vayaya. Your magnanimous transcendental qualities and your holy name, they are all auspicious. Nirupita udar. They are magnanimous. Lord's name, qualities, pastimes, they're all magnanimous qualities and auspicious name. Nobody can approach you, oh my Lord. If somebody can recite wonderful poetry, he cannot glorify you sufficiently. Even if somebody goes with the speed of the mind, they cannot reach you. Panthastu koti shatavatsara sampragmya vayorathapi manaso. You cannot be reached by any of the material things. And therefore, mano vacho veg puro javaya. Therefore, he says, sarva akshamargai. Akshamarga means anything which is perceivable by the senses. You are beyond that. Agata adhvane. You are beyond, you are not perceivable by any of the senses. That is called as adhokshaja. Lord is not perceivable by senses. Prabhupada writes, Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyai. The Lord cannot be perceived by ordinary senses. How to perceive the Lord? Seva. Seva begins with tongue. Sevonmukhi jihva. Vedas indicate that simply by chanting the names, one can become spiritually advanced. Otherwise, by our material endeavors, we cannot approach the Lord. That is what is described here. Only by devotional service one can approach the Lord. Nothing else touches the Lord. Bhaktya ekaya grahyam. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham evam vidho Arjuna. So many verses. Okay, they continue. Shuddhaya Shantaya Namaswanishtaya
Suddhaya Santaya Namaskaya
Manasya Partham Vilasadvyaya
Manaspartham
Manaspartam
Vilasadvadvayaya
Namo
Vilasattvaya
Jagatstan Layodayeshu
Namo
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 Jagatsthan
Jagatstha
Layo Dayeshu
Krihitamaya Gunavigrahaya
Grihetamayavigrahaya.
Dear
Dear
Lord,
Lord,
Hare
we
we
Krishna.
beg
beg
to
to offer
we beg
our
to offer
obeisances.
our obeisance. Dear Lord, we beg to offer our obeisances unto you. When the mind is fixed upon you, the world of duality, although a place for material enjoyment, appears meaningless. Your transcendental form is full of transcendental bliss. We therefore offer our respects unto you. Your appearance as Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva are meant for the purpose of creating, maintaining, and initiating this cosmic manifestation.
The Lord's form is Shuddhaya, it is pure, Shantaya, peaceful, Swanishtaya, fixed in his Swarupa, Manasi Apartham, and when the mind is fixed on you, Vilasadvayaya, the entire world becomes meaningless. That is a natural outcome of focusing on the Lord. Manasi Apartham Vilasadvayaya. When the mind is fixed on the Lord, this world of duality makes no sense. You are the source of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Jagat Sthan and Layodayeshu. To create, to maintain, and to destroy, you appear as Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. We offer our obeisances to you. In the purport, Prabhupada describes the vision of a pure devotee. A pure devotee can appreciate the impermanence of this world, and he will not be attached to this world. He will use this world in serving the Lord. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharaham Prayanjatah. He'll not be affected by the dualities of the world. He'll use this world to serve the Lord. Next verse. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya
Namo
Shuddha Sattvaya
Haraye Harimedhase
Hare
Hare
Hari
Medhase
Vasudevaya Krishnaya
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Krishnaya
Prabhave Sarvasatvatam
Prabhave
Prabhave
Sarvasatvatam.
Dear Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you because your existence is completely independent of all material influences. Your Lordship always takes away the devotee's miserable conditions, for your brain plans how to do so. You live everywhere as Paramatma, therefore you are known as Vasudeva. You also accept Vasudeva as your father, and you are celebrated by the name Krishna. You are so kind that you always increase the influence of all kinds of devotees.
So very wonderful prayer. Prachitas are making. You are Vishuddha Sattva. You are beyond the material modes. You are Hari Medhase. This is a very interesting and important word. Hari Medhase means Hari, one who takes away all the miserable conditions of life. That is Hari. Prabhupada writes in this. Yeah. Hari means one who takes away all the miserable conditions. And Hari Medhase means Lord is planning to deliver the conditioned souls. The Lord is only thinking of one thing. How to liberate these conditioned souls, which are kaise uddhar karenge. Lord is always thinking of that. Haraye Hari Medhase. He is Vasudeva, he is Krishna. Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. He is so kind. He increases the influence of his devotees. That is another very interesting quality of the Lord. Prabhav badhate hain. He increases the prabhav of his devotees. He increases the influence of his devotees. He likes to glorify his devotees. Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. He likes to see his devotees glorified. He likes to give credit to his devotees. That is how the Lord is working. Prabhupada in the purport first he describes how one should not compare Lord to Devtas, even Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha. So of course, not Vishnu, but Brahma and Shiva. We should not compare that, okay, Bhagwan, Lord Vishnu, same as Krishna, same as Shiva and Brahma. No. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Devata Samatvena Vikshita Sapashandi. That is second offense against the Supreme Lord. The Lord is Vishuddha Sattva. The Devatas, they may come under the control. They may get in touch with the modes. The Lord never comes in touch with the modes. The Lord is always planning to deliver his devotees. That's why he appears in different avatars. Namaha Kamala Nabhaya.
Namah Kamalanathaya.
Namaha
Namaha Kamala
Kamalanabhaya.
Maline.
Namah Kamala
Namaha
Maline.
Namaha
Kamalamani.
Kamala Padaya.
Namah
Kamala
Namaha
Padaya.
Padaya.
Namaste Kamalekshana.
Namaste
Namaste.
Namaste
Kamalekshanaha.
Kamalekshana. Hare Krishna. Dear Lord, we offer our respectful obeisance unto you because from your abdomen sprout the lotus flower and the origin of all living entities. You are always decorated with the lotus garland, and your feet resemble the lotus flowers with all its fragrance. Your eyes are also like a petal of the lotus flower. Therefore, we always offer our respectful obeisance unto you. Hare Krishna.
Kunti Maharani offers a similar prayer.
Yes. Nama Pankajanaabhaya, Nama Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre.
That is how Prabhupada focuses on this Kamala Nabhaya, the Lord from whose navel the entire universe comes, the lotus flower comes, Srishti Leela. The Lord is the creator of all the universes. Namaha Kamala Kinjalka.
Namaha
Kamala
Vishangamalvasase.
Namaste.
Sarvabhuta Nivasaya.
Sarvabhutani
Namo
Vasaya.
Yukshmahi Sakshine.
Namo
Yukshmahi Sakshini.
Dear Lord, the garment you have put on is yellowish in color, like the saffron of your lotus flower, but it is not made of anything material. Since you live in the everyone's spot, you are the direct witness of all the activities of the all living entities.
Living
We offer our respectful obeisances unto you again and again.
You are Sarva Bhuta Nivasaya. You are situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. You are Namo Yukshmahi Sakshine. You are the witness. Upadrashta. You are the witness of all the actions. We offer our obeisances. So Prabhupada focuses on this word, Sarva Bhuta Nivasaya. He is there in everyone's heart. Sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishtaha. Okay. So whatever the living entity wants to remember, Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. If the living entity desires to forget the Lord makes him forget. So that's how the Lord is reciprocal. Rupam Bhagavata Tveta
Bhagavata Pita.
Ashesha Klesa Sankshayam
Shesha
Avishkritam na Klishtanam
Avishritam na Krishna.
Kimanyat Anukampitam.
Kimanyatanukampitam. Hare Krishna. Dear Lord,
Lord,
preconditioned souls are always covered by ignorance in the bodily conception of life. We therefore always prefer the miserable conditions of material existence. To deliver us from these miserable conditions, you have advented yourself in this transcendental form.
Rupam Bhagavata Eta, this form which you are manifesting in front of us, it is Ashesha Klesha Sankshayam. This form can destroy all the unlimited miserable conditions of life. Although we living entities prefer to be in ignorance, but you have manifested this beautiful form. Avishkritam nah. You have revealed this form. Avishkrita. You have revealed this form. for those who are Krishtana. Krishtana means those who are suffering in this material world. You have revealed this form to reduce and destroy the miseries of the conditioned souls. What to speak of those who are favorably disposed towards you? If you are showing mercy to conditioned souls, what mercy you will give to your devotees? That is what is described. Prabhupada writes, when the Lord appears, he annihilates the miscreants, delivers the pious. It is said that all living entities who died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained the original Swarupa. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा यदा हवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दं नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूता पदमापुरस्य. One time one person came to Prabhupada and he was very sad. And he was saying, Swamiji, I went to one astrologer and he was telling me that in the last life I was a soldier in the army of Kauravas and I fought against Krishna. I am feeling very sad. Prabhupada said, this is not possible. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. I reported this verse. Whoever fought on the Kurukshetra war, they all got liberated because they saw the lotus face of Krishna while dying. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Even if he is killed by somebody, he kills somebody, that demon gets liberated. So that is the beauty of Krishna. He only works for the welfare of conditioned souls. Ashesha Klesha Sankshayam. There is another beautiful verse. Ashesha Shanklesha Shamam Vidatte Gunanuvada Shravanam Murare Yamuva Punastat Charanaravinda Paraga Seva Ratiratma Labdha. Ashesha Shanklesha Shamam. Anybody who hears Gunanuvada Shravanam, anyone who hears the qualities of the Lord, unlimited miseries are destroyed. What to speak of devotees who have attained, who have developed attachment for the lotus feet of the Lord? What they will achieve? That's the power of the qualities and name of the Lord. Many verses in Bhagavatam describes the power of Krishna Katha, Krishna Bhakti, how it destroys all the sinful reactions, how he destroys all the miseries. So Prachetas, they are very humbly putting themselves in the condition where they are thinking that they are like conditioned souls and apne Shuddha Bhakt, you are giving all this to us. So what you will give to pure devotees, although they are also pure devotees. But they are thinking, oh, we are a conditioned souls, छोटे मोटे some थोड़ा सा भक्ति हम लोग कर रहे हैं. So what you are giving to us is so very wonderful. So that's our devotees. A devotee always feels that I am such an insignificant soul. Prabhupada writes, Avishkritam. Avishkritam means he reveals. How Lord reveals? For a neophyte devotee or a new bhakta, a conditioned soul, the Lord appears in front as deities of the Lord. Prabhupada writes about that. The form of the Lord as worshipped in the temple is called Archa Vigraha. The neophyte devotees can't see the Lord personally. The Lord appears as Archa. But if we are not understanding the philosophy, that neophyte cannot understand what he is doing. One of our devotees, Sudama Prabhu, he once told, if we are just doing kharcha on archa and not doing Bhagavad Charcha, then we will not get benefited. We are just doing all the deity worship and not understanding why we are doing what we are doing. Bhagavad Charcha, if we are not doing, then it will not give much benefit. Because one time Prabhupada also told this. He installed deities in one temple and he told that all of you, please study scriptures, study Bhagavatam. Otherwise, after some time, you will say, why my spiritual master has put this burden of deities on my neck. Archa Vigraha will become Galagraha. So, Lord is merciful. He has manifested his beautiful form and he is giving chance to everyone to advance. Okay. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue next time from verse number 28. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.